Hey guys, what's up? I'm CJ and welcome back to my galaxy. Today we're talking about this gorgeous book. Let's have a close up. Can you guys see that? She's so pretty, right? Look at, so this is the illustrated version of the Hunger Games, illustrated by Nico Delort. I should have tried pronouncing his name before this video, but you know, we deal with things as they are, right? So this guy right here has come up with the best illustrations ever. Honestly, I haven't even read this book yet, and I already know it's the best illustrations, or like read it, like looked at the pictures. And today I just want to make it very clear, I'm not going to be looking at all the pictures today, simply because I want you guys to have a look at them yourselves. And I'm also going to do a bit of a reading vlog as well in the future once I have like reread it with the images, because that was weird. I'm so sorry, because I really want to like read the book with the pictures, with the illustrations, just experience it differently, or experience the book differently. So what we're going to be discussing instead is like the cover, what that means, and maybe just a couple of pages in with this, like this part. We'll have a look at that and we'll discuss it as well. But first of all, you know, who doesn't love the smell of a new book? So if you have your illustrated book of the Hunger Games here right now, I just want you all to just smell it, you know, because new book smell and just the smell of books just in general is the best smell ever, and you can't convince me otherwise. So let's get into this, right? Let's look at the cover. I did not expect this. Like, look at how big this is. That's insanely huge for a book, and I saw someone got their hands on it early, like a week or two ago. I don't know where they found that book, but they got their hands on it early, and I'm totally jealous of that. So I knew it was gonna be like big, but I didn't realize it was gonna be like, it's massive. It's so big because it's an illustrated version. Obviously it's gonna have to be a bit bigger so we're able to see the details on the book, and I feel like I need somewhere to put this because I'm just like holding it up. I need like a shelf right here or something so I can just like sit it down, and I don't want to film at my desk, but here we are anyways. So yeah, it's an absolutely massive book, and honestly the amount of, it's still very thick as well, which I found quite surprising, since, see, there's a little bit of a glimpse at some of the images there. They did post some of the illustrations on their Instagram. I don't know about other social media platforms, but I saw it on the Instagram, the Hunger Games books, or the Hunger Games book. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but you guys probably know what I mean. On their Instagram, they posted about it, and there was like an image or two that we saw partially, and we saw Katniss's dress as she was going out to Caesar Flickerman's interview, and we saw the image of her and the cornucopia, and then Katniss Prim and her mother before the reaping. This is just an absolutely gorgeous book. I can't get over how just amazing it looks. Like, the illustrator is so good at what they do. It's so cool. And what I was saying before is that the Hunger Games is it's not super long, but it is, I think it's like 600 pages long. And I didn't expect it to be I thought it'd be like cut in half. Oh, it is. Maybe it's because the pages are thicker. It's 357 pages long. Ugh, let me show you guys. 300, and I don't know if you can see this, 357 pages long. What's in the back of this? It's just, and the book one is just the black page. Yeah, so I also expected it to be more like a paperback, I guess, with like a cover that you are able to take off. I don't know why I expected it to be like, I don't think I own hardcover books. Oh no, I own a couple of classic hardcover books, like I'm like looking at my shelf over there. It's like Wuthering Heights, and I think I have some, yeah, I have some classic novels that are hardcover, but not like the Hunger Games. So this is like my prized possession now, and if anyone tries to rip this out of my possession, my hands, I think I'll go insane. Because no one's allowed to have this. It's mine. go away, leave me alone, you'll never have it. So, okay, let's actually get into discussing the cover. So let's have a look at the cover, right? The cover, The Hunger Games, I love how shiny it is. I don't know, I'm just obsessed with that. And then we have the illustrator and Suzanne Collins in the same kind of like font as the big Hunger Games title here. So this is Katniss right here, with her bow and arrow. And what I found like really interesting was that they actually managed to loop, the way that it was illustrated, the bow and arrow is looped around the letters as though she actually, like Katniss actually, like it's in her world, these letters, and she actively looped her bow around it, which I just found that really interesting and really cool, and just attention to detail. I really love that. And we're gonna get into how Katniss looks in a second, but I wanted to flip the cover around. I want to have a look at the back of it. We have the blurb. The Hunger Games has enthralled millions of readers in its examination of the price of war, human nature, and the powerful force of both love and resistance. Now it appears for the first time in a deluxe illustrated edition with spellbinding art from internationally acclaimed artist Nico Delort. Nico. It'd have to be Nico, right? Nico Delort. Delort. It sounds better like Nico Delort, not Nico Delort. It has to be Nico Delort, right? That just sounds more correct, but let me know how to pronounce his name in the comments if I'm saying it right. Nico Delort, that's what I'm gonna say. The illustrator Nico Delort, he's so good. He's amazing. I know I said this at the beginning of the video, but it's amazing. And also, I only just read this blurb. I thought this was going to be like a similar blurb as what's on the back of the books, like the original books, like Kill or Be Killed sort of blurb. But no, it says the themes of the Hunger Games, price of war, human nature, and powerful force of both love and resistance, which is interesting because the movie so like promoted the love triangle so much, and it was just like about the love plot or subplot, when the love is a part of the resistance, which is exactly what they're saying on this blurb. And that's really interesting, actually. I love that they're really pointing out the other themes that were actually the main goal of Suzanne Collins in this book. Okay, so now what I want to just point out is that here, right here, that I assume, it looks like a Mockingjay. So it's a Mockingjay right here, and I love being able to see like an actual depiction of them. I think we saw them a little bit in the movie's Mockingjay itself, like the actual part 1 and part 2. And I think there are images like online that I don't know are necessarily official, but they do look very similar to the way that they depicted a Mockingjay, and I wonder if that's what mockingbirds look like. You know, I'm pretty sure mockingbirds, yeah, because mockingbirds are real. Duh. So, and I assume that they look very similar here, and that's why they've designed it the way they have. So, I just love being able to have like an official rendition, is that the right word? I don't know. Official image of the Mockingjay and how it actually looks, and be able to see that and be like, oh my god, that's what they're noticing, that's what they're talking about the entire time, is this like capital, like they said, resistance. It was against the capital's nature. They didn't want the Mockingjay to exist, and yet here it is. And now I want to mention this. I think it has to be purposeful, this tree. I think this tree is here for a reason, and what other tree that holds significance in the Hunger Games other than the hanging tree? I believe, and I don't know, no, I'm pretty sure, I cannot think of anything else that this could be referencing. This has to be the hanging tree. So we see in the prequel, actually, the hanging tree that Lucy Gray and Snow meet at, and we know that the hanging tree is in other parts of the movie, but specifically when I'm thinking about it is when no one else is around. So I'm thinking about when Lucy Gray and Snow meet to leave District 12 and the hanging tree, and I wonder if this would be a depiction of this same tree as it's no longer being used, and it's like there's no maintenance around it, and it's slowly, the actual hanging tree itself is falling down. And the reason I think it's the hanging tree is because like that same idea of resistance here is that, you know, obviously Katniss is going to be at this hanging tree and singing the hanging tree against Snow. Honestly, what other tree would it be? It can't just be there for no reason. I feel like Suzanne Collins would not have signed off on her book being illustrated in such a way if it didn't have some sort of purpose. And up here we also see the branches of the tree extending from the back of the novel up above Katniss. So she has, like, it's there. And also Katniss obviously connected to nature. She goes out in the woods, she hunts and stuff, and that's why she's so good with the bow and arrow. But that's the hanging tree. I don't know what other thing it'd be. I don't know if you want to leave a comment down below like what you think it is, but it's the hanging tree, and that's what I'm gonna leave it at. So I want to just have a look inside this book, just as like the first couple pages before we get into the actual part that one would read as a reader, as an audience member. I really like the red. I love the I don't know, is it red or is it like a deep orange? Because I feel like maybe a deep orange might make a little bit more sense, and I do enjoy the colors they chose. I think it's so gorgeous, as it's like orange like a sunset, right? That's exactly what this is designed to be. Surely it's like orange like the sunset. So I feel like a primary school teacher reading you guys a book. Okay, so if we go in here, we have these like gorgeous pages. I absolutely love these. I love the borders as well, and all the floral arrangements. At first I was like, oh my god, dandelions. These aren't dandelions. I don't know what kind of flower they'd be. Maybe wait a minute. Oh, it just occurred to me. Maybe it is. I just saw the little, I was looking at this earlier, but I just saw, let me see if I can get this in frame. If we have a look at the little bulbs here, I don't know what to call them. They're not bulbs. They're just the sphere. I don't know how to pronounce words. I'm so sorry, guys. I only read words. I don't pronounce them out loud. But they're circles, just like little spheres in the middle of those flowers because they're flowering. And is it Nightlock, perhaps? Is that what it is? It's just occurred to me that's probably Nightlock that we're looking at the front cover with the borders. That's what Nightlock looks like. Guys, that's freaking Nightlock. Let me hold it back up like I was before so it's better. That's freaking Nightlock. I can't believe it didn't occur to me before. Like, obviously as soon as I see flowers I'm like, dandelion, but it's not a dandelion. I know what a dandelion looks like, and that's not a dandelion. That's and we have, although it looks a little bit different here, it does still have like a little bit of, I have to hold this up better. I'm so sorry, guys. It has a little bit of those spheres looking blueberry things in the middle there, but that could also just be like the thing in the middle. Why am I blanking on what it's called? Anyways, well, that's a Mockingjay right there. Gorgeous image. I know that an image like this is on the internet somewhere, so I don't know if that's supposed to be an official image or not, but now it kind of is, isn't it? I love just the blackout of all the stuff that's in here. And such a large book, man. See, these ones don't have anything in them like the ones before did, which is interesting. So if we see here, there's something inside these flowers, and then if we look over here at these ones, there's nothing in them when it says the dedication for James Primus. I'm sorry for botching your name. I'm so sorry. And then we go into part one, the tributes, and oh, that's actually quite interesting. So this part one, if you have a look at the flowers once again, I don't know if you saw that properly. I blocked my view of the camera. These don't have the little spheres, bulb, blueberry looking things in there. So part one, the tributes, it's before the discovery of the Nightlock. And I wonder, I know I'm not gonna like go through the entire thing, but I wonder if, let's have a look at part 3 could possibly have, okay, that's interesting. That's actually quite interesting. These flowers look to be falling apart. Are they falling apart? Here, up here, this is so heavy. Up here, they look to be kind of, I don't know, like rotting away, I guess. They're not rotting away. Yeah, no, they're looking a little bit disheveled from the beginning of the book. That's... Where is part 3? I don't... Guys, what chapter is part 3 in? Someone please remind me. I'm trying not to see the images because I want to experience it as I'm reading it. And I'm trying to find part 3 and I can't freaking find it, man. Oof. I don't think I'm going to be able to find it for you guys. Oh, there's an entire page with just one image. That's insane. I can't find it. I'm sorry. And I'll read it during the my book vlog, reading vlog, whatever. I'll show you guys properly. But it looks like the flowers are slowly starting to wilt away, which is quite interesting with the themes of the book. I just find that really cool as well, that there's possibly Nightlock and just the connection with Nightlock in the book. I think that's absolutely genius. If I'm looking at it right, I think that's genius. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. So the final thing that I really want to talk about in this book is Katniss's look. Katniss's look is exactly how she's pretty much described within the games. I think that would be her father's hunting jacket. Yeah, so that would be her father's hunting jacket, and that's essentially how it looks in the movies as well, and that's how she's described, yeah, go and subscribe. And that's how she's described in the books. So the other thing I wanted to mention, and when I first saw these images coming out, oh, look at this, the way it's how the bow is put together as well, with it's just like not necessarily messily put together, but it's like strapped together. It's, you know, it's not professionally made like a capital bow and arrow. It's like a District 12 bow, which is super cool. But when these images first came out, and I was speaking to my YouTuber friend who is Anesu from Bubble Sue, if you guys want to go and watch her content as well, I was speaking to her about the way Katniss's braid looks, and the way she's been depicted in this whole novel is that she kind of looks indigenous. And it's in the way that her braid looks and her hair in general looks like how an indigenous person or like a Native American person. I saw someone refer to them as something different in my comment section. It slipped my mind what they said, but they're also called like something island, whatever people. Is that right? I don't remember. If you're that person, let me know in the comments down below, but it's like what they refer to themselves instead of like Native American or indigenous. But this image looks very reminiscent of what you would see, or what I've personally seen is that like I don't know if it's stereotypical, but like traditional braid that indigenous peoples will have, that they won't cut their hair for cultural reasons. And one of the which that I've seen personally, or like I haven't seen personally, but I've seen on the internet and people doing this, is that they cut the braid when they're grieving, when they've lost someone close to them. So it's like a whole cultural thing. And the braid looks very similar to what I've seen like indigenous people's look. If you're indigenous, Native American, or what have you, from like the area, then let me know. Do you think it looks like this? I made a whole video of like Katniss was whitewashed and saying that there's a chance that Katniss was actually indigenous, and that's what I personally had canoned her as. That's what a lot of the fandom has had canoned her as. I know some people, since Rachel Zegler was cast as Lucy Gray, then Lucy Gray, Rachel Zegler is Latin American. And I believe, yeah, she'd be Latin American, and people are like, well, maybe Katniss possibly related to the Covey in some way. Maybe Katniss is Latin American, which I wouldn't put it past. Apparently there's like a large Latin American, maybe even Mexican population in Appalachia. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But in here, with her depiction, seems very indigenous, like traditionally indigenous with her braid. Her braid just looks what I would consider traditional, or what I've personally seen. I could be wrong. Mind you, I'm not Native American myself, but it's very possible. And it's, you know, when I think of someone who's indigenous, I'm like, well, Katniss. This is like the exact image of what I would imagine. And I just find it very interesting that at the very least, I don't think she's white in this depiction of her. And in the movies, I do still believe that she was very whitewashed. I'm not of the personal belief that Katniss was white at all. Like, I'm not on board with that. and it just doesn't make sense for her character personally, and like the diversity that Suzanne Collins really likes to put into her novels and her stories, that she is making a statement. Like the race, ethnicity of her characters and the culture of her characters are there for a reason, and you know, I feel like white isn't the default. So you need a reason to make them any kind of race, ethnicity, culture, and that's what Suzanne Collins does. And I just don't think it makes sense for Katniss to be white. And like I said before, that is exactly how she's depicted in this book, and I absolutely love this. And if you disagree, as long as you're respectful in the comment section, I would love to hear your opinions about that. If you disagree about how Katniss is depicted, saying like, oh no, she looks white, she looks like this, she doesn't look indigenous, she is maybe this ethnicity, let me know. I just absolutely love this book, and it is making my arm so sore carrying it and holding it up for this video, and I'm never doing this again. I'm not holding this book up like this again. I need to build a shelf here or something, because that's my only solution at this point, because it is so big. I need to put this down. But anyways guys, that is it for today's video. I will be doing a book/reading vlog in the future where I'll be looking at the images, but I also want you guys to look at the images yourself. So make sure you pick up the book, or I guess it'll probably be at the library at some point as well. So like pick it up from a library, borrow it, buy it if you're able to, and see it online, some of the images as well. So I don't want to spoil it for you. So by the time it gets to the reading vlog, hopefully you guys have seen the images and are able to experience it with me as well. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and definitely comment down below what your initial thoughts on the illustrated version of the novel are. Are there some images that you've seen you're like, wow, that's really cool? And I'm trying not to spoil myself just yet with the whole images, so maybe please don't put any spoilers in the comment section down below. Just have a look at the covers and the ones, and just try not to spoil it for people. Please don't spoil it for me because I'll be reading your comments. But yeah, let me know your initial thoughts in the comments down below without spoilers. Once again though, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, but I've been CJ, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!